Welcome, everyone, to 90 Days of Insanity. And I think we have all heard or seen the insanity workouts on television. And it's where they do 90 days of a crazy shape-up workout. And it works. Why? Because it's fast and intense. And I don't know if you have all read the latest Essential Edge, but Travis Ogden, the Young Living COO, was at a growth conference, and he spoke about Young Living's unique story that began over 20 years ago and how we are experiencing 12 times greater the growth than in historic averages in the past. So we are experiencing some insanity in Young Living, so it's very exciting to be a part of this movement of people seeking natural remedies. Now tonight we're going to have some fun and create our own insanity action workout for our businesses. And we're going to look at the key tools to accelerate our life plan. And before we do that, though, I want to review just a little bit in case we have new entrepreneurs on the line. Last time we spoke about personal vision. And I want to mention it is our dreams that will cause us to find the time for learning our business skills and filling out that calendar each week with those income-producing actions. And it is our dreams that will cause us to face our fears and persevere through the challenges of growing a business. It is without fail we will have challenges. And that is why we had our first call to set that important foundation of a personal vision. We must define our personal vision and claim it as our Great Wall of China. And then understand how that emperor had to close his eyes each time one stone was laid to see the vision for what that wall could become stone by stone. So now close your eyes and truly think about your own organization. Maybe you just started and you have just a few members in your organization. Close your eyes and see the vision for what your organization will become. Have you drawn those circles? Maybe now you have 25 people in your organization. Can you see what it will become in 1 year, 2 years, 10 years? And maybe in a few years, maybe some of you are on the call tonight and you have that 1,000 members or 2,000 members or maybe even 35,000 members. But I still encourage you, close your eyes and see your organizations for what they can become even further. Realize that your Great Wall of China is built one stone at a time, and it is your follow-up that will be the mortar that holds that foundation steady for the decades to come. So as you go about your weeks ahead, feed your dreams on a daily basis. Spend more time on your self-development than you would at the coffee shop. The opposite of success is not failure, it's mediocrity. Failure is actually part of the process of success. To reach success in this profession, you must be willing to dedicate time to building your skills and also facing the challenges that come to growing a strong team. Tonight's call is called Insanity, 90 Days Business Workout. Everything we are reviewing tonight can be found in the books called GoPro, Making the First Circle Work, and Building an Empire. These are third-party tools that we use for mentoring. Before we get to the Insanity Workout fun part of this evening, let's review a couple of skills in case new entrepreneurs are on this call. And maybe even you haven't finished yet reading these foundational mentoring books yet. So let's review a couple of things. Like any profession, you need to learn skills. And there are 10 foundational skills necessary to build a huge business. But we're not going to review all of them. We're just going to review 2 of them to get you started for this Insanity Business Workout. Be sure to get your own copy of the Go Pro book by Eric Worrell to go through with others on your team. Now, he goes through 7 of those skills, but also get your copy of Making the First Circle work as well. So skill number 1, finding prospects. Let's begin by asking yourself if you are treating this business skill as a network marketer would. For example, all businesses start out with a list of people. Now, this does not mean you go and hunt everyone down on that list. It's just a list at this point. We are not hunters. We don't want people running away from us like prey. Instead, think of yourself as a farmer. You are there to nurture. You are there to educate and grow interest. You are there to grow relationships, grow friendships. If you have people running away from you, think about whether you are coming across as a hunter or as a farmer. And be the farmer and build trust with people you meet and skillfully educate on the value you have to offer. And let the consumer decide if it fits their needs or interests. Statistically, 8 out of 10 new distributors first approach their business with a small mentality. And they have a small list, and they don't even write it down, a small list of people. And so they just think about the people in their head, and then they set out and they think, oh, I'm just going to see what happens. Plus, they never take the time to develop the necessary skills. And this is what our profession calls the posers. They want to do the business, but they just want to pose for the photo. They don't want to do the work. So think about that. Are you a poser? Now, some people are amateurs, and they go ahead and make the list of 100 people they know, just as they're told, and they charge out with great excitement. But they forget to start learning the skills. And then when their list diminishes and it gets smaller and smaller, the anxiety level goes higher and higher. So make your list, but then also start working on your skills so that you can keep your great enthusiasm. Now, network marketing professionals know that finding people to have a continued active list is a skill. And when you study people who have built large, successful organizations, they never run out of people. They have developed the skill to meet people and engage with people with true interest. And the game is simply to add another name to the list. And remember that we are farmers. So to master this skill, there's 3 steps. Include everyone you can think of on your list and every person you meet. And it doesn't matter if you think they are a prospect or not. Just write them down. Every single person goes on the list. And it is important for you to do this, to truly write down the names, because it empties your mind. Now, you do not prospect everyone on this list. You simply write it down. Step number 2 of this skill is looking at your list now. And think about the people that they know. So, for example, family members. Who do they know? Look at your friends' names. Who do they know? Look at the other relationships on your list. Who do they know? And now add those names to the list. Step number 3, constantly expand your list. It never should stop growing. The professionals have a goal to add 2 people to their list every day or every other day. Now, we may not ever prospect those people. The key is to just find a creative way to stay in touch. Again, it is not for prospecting. Just live your life making new friends. People are really interesting. Enjoy meeting others. Professional networkers develop a higher skill of awareness. They pay attention to all that is around them. And so now we don't go out and assault people with our pitch, but we just set out to meet them. We set out to make some friends. We develop a connection. And when the time is right, that becomes obvious when it is time to share. Step number 4, professional networkers go out and network on purpose. So here's what I always suggest. Just go out there, have some fun, join a book club, join the gym, hang out at the same coffee shop, frequent the same teller at the bank, develop a new hobby or jump into a bike club, volunteer for something important to you, but find places and organizations to meet new people. And again, not to prospect, just to genuinely meet people. This way, your list never runs out. The second skill to review tonight before we get started is the idea of inviting prospects to understand your product. Now, this is true prospects. Once you have identified your prospects, then learning how to properly invite them to consider more about your product or about the business is the next step. And this is the most critical skill you can learn to develop. So make sure that you read the books that we have suggested to really understand how to invite people. Remember now, you are offering common sense solutions to people's problems. We are not problem solvers. We are problem solvers. We're not product pushers. Remember, people first, product second, and business is the last thing. So people first. We are problem solvers, not product pushers. Your job then is to invite people to do one of two things, depending on the situation. So when you're out and about, the first possibility is you invite them just to review a tool. Or it can be a link, a CD, or a book. And so, for example, there's great Ninja Red links on your Young Living virtual office. If you go to wisechoiceliving.com and go under the Education tab, there are many recorded webinars from many professionals that are easy to share. So start right-clicking and sharing those. My favorite is loaning out the EDR. If you have 5 EDRs on hand, make it a practice to loan those out every week and then go and pick them up. Another favorite to hand out is the 4-year career. And I typically, at the end of my product classes, I'll lay 5 or 6 of them on the coffee table and say, hey, most people ask me how to get their products paid for. If you are one of these people, take one of these books and then let me know what day I can pick it up. And another suggestion, one of my favorites, is the Thieves CD. It's an audio CD that's in the front of the Healing Home book. This is an awesome 25 minutes. And it gives you a third party validating the science and value of the whole Thieves line for families. It's an awesome audio CD to hand out. You can hand 5 of those out per week and get them back. If you need a Healing Home book, you can just go to biosensible.com. And remember, the audio is in the front of the book. The second suggestion is to invite them to an event. So the first one was to invite them to listen to a tool. The second one is to invite them to an event to learn more. Now, an event can be a one-on-one. It can be a small home experience. It can be a phone call like we're having tonight. Or it can be a bigger event locally. or even the large international convention. Professional networkers understand that personal interaction is a critical component when it comes to building trust and transferring that belief in what you have. Now, events actually give the important impression of social proof. It's valuable for a person to see that there are other people who see the value as well. And in Randy Gage's material, he talks about the ladder of escalation. Small group, a little bit larger group, a local regional event, and then the large convention. It's a ladder of escalation of social proof. Very important. Now, if you don't develop the skill of inviting, it's fairly common to invite 20 people to come to a small home experience and then only have one or none show up. And this can be discouraging. But please realize if this is happening, then maybe back up and start out with building interest with your tools first until you've built enough interest for them to want to learn more at your home. And also another way of doing that is invite them to another event and promote that first. Either way. But remember, people are busy, and sometimes it's just the fact that people are simply busy. So sometimes we don't want to read too much into it. Also, if you don't have people showing up, you might want to think about that person and consider maybe there is an objection. So, for example, an objection could be they are a very, very busy person. And in their head, they're thinking, oh, my gosh, I'd love to go, but I'm too busy. I just don't have the time. So what can you do to help that person? Another person may be thinking, oh, man, I don't want to go because I have to buy something. So what can you say to ease their concerns? Because remember, you're all about education, and we're a teaching and training company. So what can you say? Are we just another selling party, or do we really have something of value to offer people? So think about it. What is the value for them? Maybe you have to be clear that they don't have to buy something. Maybe you need to communicate to this busy person that you have a CD that they could listen to in their car on their way to work. Because people will make time if it's a priority, and they might just not know the value of what you have to offer. So think about the possible obstacle and then find a solution for that person. Regardless, when you teach your teams now to hand out books or CDs every week and get them back, make sure they are giving a clear call to action to the individual. And when you do that, the results will be amazing. Set a goal to get your tools out weekly. And remember, people are busy. Communicate the value for them. Now, there's a few rules for you for the skill of inviting. So the first rule I would like you to give yourself is emotionally detach yourself from the outcome. Remember, our goal in this business is for education and understanding. It's not to get an immediate member sign-up. So just focus on the education, give a clear call to action, and everything then will get a lot simpler. Remember, we're not hunters. We're not sharks. Our job is education. We have solutions. We have things that will make people's lives better. So remember that. The second rule is just be yourself. The third rule, bring some passion. Enthusiasm is what is contagious. Talk about the movement of people, and together you are making a difference to families or individuals in your community. Or together we are changing the statistics. Or together we will set a new paradigm about healthcare. But whatever it is, bring some passion, and enthusiasm will shine through. Rule number 4, Have strong posture. Know what you hold in your hand. You hold $1 million business in your hand. Stand boldly, and also remember that you have solutions to the needs of people. You have solutions to the issues that they're concerned about. So again, stand boldly and maybe announce, I'm sick and tired of what I keep hearing. And together we are determined to make a change. But be yourself. Be a bolder, stronger self. So now Eric Worrow in GoPro on page 48 has 8 steps to a professional invitation. So make sure you get Eric Worrow's GoPro book and learn the 8 steps of a professional invitation. Also, when you think about inviting others, think more like a birthday party. Just don't announce it. There's so much power in a handwritten invitation and also in a personal phone call. So now, let's get ready for insanity workout. Okay, so for this insanity workout, we have 90 days of insane action. So we need to get our calendars out and be looking at dates. So what does 90 days of insanity look like for your Young Living business? Now, think about it. How are you going to create this workout in your own efforts for your business? And when you do that, what could happen? Now, close your eyes and imagine your organization for what it can become. What would happen? With these 90 days, you can create a great growth success story. So look at the criteria for the next rank. So in other words, grab your comp plan and look at the criteria for the next rank achievement. So for example, let's say you are senior star and want to shoot for executive. We know that you will need 4,000 total PV organizational volume, and you need 2 people who each have 1,000 organizational volume under them. So let's break this down. Now, your intention is, let's say you have your circle. You have your 5 circles drawn, and now look at those 5 circles and choose 2 business partners that you want to really put intensity into for the next 90 days. So with you and your 2 business partners, your goal then, your own goal, is to help these 2 leaders to bring in 5 people each in the next 30 to 45 days. Then what you're going to do is mentor them so that the new people, the new 5 people that they bring in, find 2 of those that they can mentor so that they're happily able to give referrals as well. Because remember, with this business, how do you do this business? You use the product and experience the benefits, and then you recommend the benefits to others, and then you invite them to an event or to listen to a tool. So again, you're going to choose 2 of your 5 leaders on your front line. You're going to partner with them and help them achieve their 5 people in less than 45 days, and then help them follow up so those 5 love the product so much that they want to give recommendations to, and then that leader is going to set out to mentor 2 of their new 5 people so they happily give referrals also. So from those 2 people, By assisting them, you are now going to have 10 new people in your organization within 30 to 45 days. Now, you may be thinking, well, how am I going to do that? So now let's look at what I call a blitz. Now, there's a couple of options here in a blitz. So let's go through these. A blitz is when a group of people on your team come together to focus on tripling their results in a particular activity. So, for example, you could do a tool blitz. So your local leader or you and your team decide to get a bulk order of tools. Because, of course, we get them at a better price, right, when you order in bulk. So now you're going to challenge each organizational member in a fun manner. Now, not a bossy manner. The goal is to see whoever gets the most tools into the marketplace and get them back, and to see how many chats you can have. So here's the rhythm. Loan it out, get it back, chat. Loan it out, get it back, chat. Do you get the idea? And so the more times you loan out a tool and get it back, the more apt you are going to have to be able to chat with that person. Now, my favorite is the Essential Oil Desk Reference, or the Thieves Audio CD in front of the healing home. So you and your two partners now will decide which tool do you want to bulk order so that you can challenge yourself to loan it out. Now, you certainly can loan out both of them as well, because the more tools you get in the marketplace, the more you will get back and the more chats you will have. Now, also, if you're having classes, you can take a handful of the 4-year careers and set them down at the end of the class and say, now, most people ask me how to get their products paid for, and you are welcome to take this book, but just let me know what day I can pick it up. That's also a blitz, because the more 4-year careers you get out, the more business appointments you're going to have, because when you get it back, they can say, well, it's not for me right now. Oh, no problem. Or they can say, hey, I would like to know a little bit more. And you say, great. Would you like to, chat now, or would you like to chat tomorrow? I have 2 o'clock available. So whatever works for you. Now, another type of blitz, instead of loaning out a tool, you could have a phone call blitz with your 2 leaders. If you feel that they need work on using proper follow-up, then do a phone call blitz. Make sure you copy off the follow-up script that I give you. And this phone call blitz is really helpful if you look at your downline viewer and you have a bunch of people with no order showing. What you want to do then is think about each person and their needs or their interests that they talked to when you first spoke with them. And then you think, what would be of value to them? The other thing you can do as you study your downlines together, when you and your 2 leaders come together, you can pull up the downlines and also look at those that are ordering, but maybe they aren't on Essential Rewards yet. So look at how Essential Rewards can actually save them money or actually put money in their pockets by the free products that they would get value from. But whatever you choose to do, a phone call blitz helps these new leaders to really develop their follow-up skills. Use the follow-up script, but then adapt it to their personality. They have to own that, but really look at the wording that I have on the script so that you can use effective language. So it's sort of like a phone call party, actually. But anyway, meet together for a focused, condensed time, and then see what the results are, and then go out and celebrate. The more fun you have, the better. The third example of a blitz is to set up an event together. So look at your calendar and schedule an event or schedule a special conference call. And then each group member challenges themselves to see how many people they can get to that event or on that phone call. Now we've made a full circle around again to the skill of inviting. Now remember, we are inviting and not just announcing that it's going to happen. And I'm going to chat a little bit more here about inviting, so we make that clear. If you remember now, I shared with you to study Eric Worrow's 8 Steps to a Professional Invitation and really practice that. It had some great keys, and that's on page 54 of his book. But I also like to share with people that if you think of it like a birthday party, and we talked about that nothing replaces the power of a written invitation or the power of a phone call, but also use social media to build interest and fun leading up to the event after someone's received that written invitation. And then the phone call is a way to connect with people and just say, hey, have you seen the event coming up? We're so excited, and make it more like a commercial. But don't turn that invitation into a presentation on the phone. Use more general words, so it's kind of like a commercial. So, for example, we are a group of moms who are willing, who are going to share how to use natural remedies to address things from the common cold to everyday aches and pains, along with saving money. And come join us. Come join our group of moms who just love to raise their kids naturally. It's fun and informative. You'll love it. Make it informal and fun. If you want to focus more on inviting for the business, here's another idea. I've just started a new business and I'm really nervous. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practiced on you? Now, this is a great way to start with family and close friends. Just ask them to fill the seats. They don't have to buy a thing. Another idea is I've started a business with a product I think that makes a lot of sense, and I would love you to try it and get your input. Would you be willing to check it out with me and give me an opinion? It's only a 10-minute demonstration of 3 home remedies to improve productivity, and I think you'll love it. And another example may be, my company is expanding in your area. Would you do me a favor and take a look at it and let me know if you think it would work here? Or better yet, what would you think would be the best way of getting the word out about the value? You're asking someone to help you, in other words. So these are other ways of inviting. So now it's time to get your calendar out. Think of the 2 partners that you're going to call and get together with, and then together you're going to decide on your blitz. Decide which one you're going to do, and really get fire in your gut for the next 90 days of insanity, because focused, condensed efforts is whatever you choose is going to make a huge difference. You are literally holding thousands of dollars in your hands by doing this blitz. So set your hair on fire and then begin to make it rain.